people want me on TV.
Yeah.
And people want to do
crazy,
like collaborations with me. And it's so cool. I've never even thought that this would ever have happened.
Welcome to Expanding Wallet, home for empowerment. We create content designed to help you take control of your money and your future. My name is Andrew Clark, and I'm the CEO and founder of Expanding Wallet. I interview people who have transformed their life. We focus on their journey to success so you can see what's possible and hopefully find ways to apply what you discover to your own roadmap for success. Today's guest is Tom, the creator of the Clueless Bushcraft TikTok account. He's also one of my best friends, and I've known him since 5th grade. A few years ago, Tom decided to share one of his passions with the world. And that passion that he started sharing years ago has now gained him 2 million followers on TikTok. In this interview, you are going to learn how he gained so many followers, strategies he uses, and how he is now profiting from his online content. This interview will be a little bit different than those that I've done in the past because today we are going on a field trip. You will get to see the now famous Clueless Bushcraft Shed where Tom films most of his content. But before we go, I just needed you to do a couple things. Hit that like button and definitely subscribe to this channel so you don't miss any future interviews. And with that, let's go. Guys, we're here. Looks like he's busy at work. You heard of MTV Cribs? Well, this is MTV Sheds. What's up, Tom?
What's up?
How you been?
Good. Great.
All right, man. You ready for this interview?
Yeah, let's go.
Ready to talk to the Expanding Wallet community?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it.
Tell us what type of content that you post.
So my channel is called Clueless Bushcraft. Most of the content has to do with like self-reliance, bushcraft, survival. But more recently on TikTok and stuff, I've been posting a lot of food videos. The shed has a bunch of like meat hanging up on the ceiling because in January I started exploring like meat preservation techniques. So that actually has to do with like survival and stuff too. Mm-hmm. And so most of my content is really broad because it's survival, self-reliance, homesteading, and stuff like that.
Yeah. So what got you interested in doing that?
To be honest, I've always been really fascinated with like the outdoors. Mm-hmm. Like going camping and stuff was something that I really enjoyed when I was young. But the funniest thing is Minecraft, the video game, kind of planted the seed for me. Because Minecraft, the idea of Minecraft is survival, where you literally go and you harvest materials from scratch from the wilderness, right. And then you get to build stuff, right? You literally punch a tree to get some wood, right? And then and then you take that wood, you build a crafting table. Once you have the crafting table, you can build like an axe or something, right, with a stone that you pick up, and then you can then have a hatchet. You start from scratch, right? Yeah. But then afterwards, YouTube channels and just other creators really got me inspired to do all of the stuff that I do. So like Dave Canterbury is one, mm-hmm. Joe Robinette, and John Plant. John Plant is the one who does primitive technology on YouTube. And so all of those people kind of inspired me to do what I'm doing now. But the person who inspired me to get a YouTube channel started was Joe Robinette. Mm-hmm. I wanted to do what he was doing. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, that's kind of how it started.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So, how long ago did you start posting online?
Back when I was living in Houston. So when I was living in Houston, I used Snapchat as a form of media where I was able to share like videos and the stuff that I was doing. But Snapchat only reached my friends. But it was a good platform to kind of start, like understanding to create content and stuff like that and what people liked. So that was about 5 years ago. And then once I moved back to Minnesota, I dedicated time to creating a YouTube channel. And I just started.
Yeah.
I really had no plan or anything. I just knew that I just wanted to make YouTube videos similar to Joe Robinette.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it kind of started 5 years ago.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, and you were consistent too. I remember, you were consistently putting out content, and I think that's been pretty important. Did you ever have anyone tell you that you were wasting your time or that you shouldn't be doing that?
Not necessarily wasting my time, but people didn't really believe that I was going to be able to do it. So, like, I can feel it, right? Yeah. They never really said it, but I can feel it.
Yeah.
I can feel like they were like, why is Tom wasting his time? I can feel it. They never said it.
Yeah.
But I think as I continued making content and as I got better, and then as I grew my following and my subscribers and stuff, people started to recognize that Tom's doing something really amazing.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, and now people are recognizing, like, hey, this is what he's doing now. And it's concrete now, People knew me as an illustrator, someone who drew.
An artist, yeah.
An artist, right?
Right,
and,
yeah, you're always good at that.
And now that's kind of dropped, right? They don't know me as that anymore. More people know me as, like, Clueless Bushcraft now.
That's powerful right there. Just over time, how you transform how people see you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that comes with consistency. So, let me just see where I'm at here. And then you never thought about quitting, right? You never thought about giving it up.
To be honest, no, I don't think so. Like this type of stuff that I've been doing, I thought it crossed my mind, but I never thought about quitting all of this because I've gone so deep into it and I enjoy it so much.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like work to me, really. And so I could be making less money and loving all the stuff that I do, and be much happier,
Exactly. And I think that's really important is if you can find something you feel like you're passionate about, you have a purpose behind, and you can make some profit from it.
Yeah.
So let's actually talk about your growth. So let's go back to the end of 2020. You remember how many followers you had on TikTok around the end of 2020?
The end of 2020, I was at 240,000 followers on TikTok.
Okay.
And I think I was roughly around 5,000 subscribers on YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then let's just talk about the month of January because I know we had a conversation. I think it was actually end of December, or maybe the beginning of January, but just you like 10xing everything. So let's just talk about how many videos did you release in January?
In January, I don't remember. I posted a video at the end of January saying how many videos I posted. I think I said it was like 100 and something.
If I remember right, it was 140.
Okay, 140. So I was posting a ridiculous amount of videos.
You were doing like 3 to 4 videos a day.
Yeah.
So that was pretty amazing. And so let me ask you this. How many months did it take you then to go from the 240 to actually you gained, I think you were at 1.3. So about how long did it take to get the 1 million followers?
It took about 3 months to hit 1 million followers.
Wow. You guys hear that?
Yeah.
3 months, 1 million followers.
Yeah. And I'm at 2 million followers now.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
And by the time we post this video, it'll probably be even more.
Probably not.
Yeah. Probably like 2.1, 2.3. Yeah, so your rate, you're probably growing at, what would you say you're growing at, on a monthly basis? Because you grew 1 million in 3 months. Do you think that it took less time to grow that next million or about the same? Or I guess you're not quite at another million yet because you are at 240,000. So
yeah. It does look like it's every like couple months another million. But to be honest with you, I've slowed down my content the past couple of weeks now, or this whole month or the month of May.
Okay. So last month.
Yeah. month of May, I did not do as good
Mm-hmm.
as the previous 2 months.
Okay.
And I've just kind of slowed down on my content. It's been really just difficult to keep pushing as hard.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
it's exhausting.
Do you want to sustain that level, or do you feel like you need to?
I do. I want to sustain that level, but it's a mental thing. You know, you get and like the weather's changing and everything too. And I know I'm just making excuses, but for the most part, like there's a lot of factors. You know, the environment is slightly different. You know, when it was winter, it was easy to start a fire and be comfortable in the shed.
In the shed.
If you start a fire now in 92-degree weather,
it's hot,
right?
It's real hot.
It's going to be way too hot in here, and it wouldn't make any sense, right? And so my content is evolving and changing through the seasons.
Yeah, I think that'll be good for viewers too, see something different.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, so you got multiple millions of followers now. So let's talk about how did things start to change to where now you're making like a profit from this? Like, what did you do, or what happened?
So I was making pennies a day on TikTok through the Creator Fund.
Okay.
Before January.
Okay.
All right, and then like once January hit, I started making content consistently, and I started noticing that I'm making more money. And then I have matched my income with my full-time job. And so it's pretty incredible. And so, and then because of the growth, people have started recognizing who I am, and they've been reaching out to me.
For sponsorships?
Yeah, for sponsorships. And just for gifts. People send me gifts.
Wow.
In December, I posted a wish list up. And the wish list had just a bunch of random stuff and tools and stuff to start making knives and stuff.
Yeah.
And so like I put up a belt grinder, what is it? Yeah, a belt grinder, a drill press, and a bunch of other tools. And people bought them. Like these are like $200-$300 items, and people bought them, and people are so incredibly generous.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And so later on, I noticed that it was just too overwhelming, so I turned off the wish list. But like, I started making more money on YouTube also because people were going over to YouTube.
Yeah, you moved the subscribers over.
Yeah.
Or they jumped over on their own.
And then people started watching enough on YouTube where it allowed me to be partnered with YouTube. Yep. So I can monetize on YouTube now.
Nice.
And within like 2 weeks, I've already made like $120.
Wow.
Off of the monetizations and ads on YouTube, which is amazing. Yeah. Now I am actually sponsored by a spread shop, and that's really, really cool.
Show them the cup there. Yeah. That's a spread shop cup right there. Really looks nice, by the way, guys.
Yeah. So this is a camper mug. I believe it's aluminum or stainless steel, perhaps. Yeah. But you can put a design on it. And so Spread Shop is one of my sponsors, and they help creators build a merch shop. And
they're a drop shipper, right?
I don't know. I don't think I wouldn't consider them a drop shipper. I consider them more of like a fulfillment sort of company. So they have all of the T-shirts and merchandise, and then they fulfill all the orders for you. And so the creator or the designer, they just need to upload an image and then select what they want, and then that's basically it. And then people go onto the website, they make purchases, and then Spreadshop fulfills the orders and everything.
I guess I still think of that as a drop shipping company. Yeah. Maybe that's what I think of as a drop shipping company. But either way, that's fine. I wanted to actually remind you of a funny conversation that, not funny, but do you remember back in December when you told me not to laugh because you wanted to match your income with what you were doing? And I did laugh, but I said, look, with as many people as you had, and that was when you had 240, I said, I think it's going to be actually easy for you to match your income and surpass it by the end of this year.
Mm-hmm.
And you already did that.
Yeah.
And you still got a whole another 6 months left.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, congratulations, man. That's actually pretty big to be able to do that so quick.
So, like, I remember when you were there, like, 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Right? When I broke 20,000 followers, right?
Yeah.
That was the coolest thing ever, because, like, I remember it was like my third or second video that I was posting, right? And that video started going viral as I had posted it, as we were together. And then it started just rolling and rolling and rolling. And then my followers just kept going. We were at, like, I think it was like at 15,000 at the time.
Yeah,
right?
That's true.
And at that time, you would actually see the full number.
Oh,
right?
Wow. Okay.
You would see the full number. It's not abbreviated, right?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, it started going and going, and then it started abbreviating, and you started seeing like 19K and then 20K.
Yeah.
And then by the end of that day, I think I was at like 25K.
Yeah.
And that was really, really fun. And that was just 2 years ago.
Yeah, so just to give you the backstory, Tom had been on TikTok. He was actually the first person I knew on TikTok, and this was like years before the pandemic happened. And most people in America weren't on it, because you were telling me that you were getting viewers from, like, was it China and India, I think, at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So, you were definitely ahead of this trend that we're seeing. Mm-hmm. So that was pretty cool, and I think that gave you some time to perfect your skills too.
Yeah, so like before the pandemic, like I was already on TikTok and I was making videos already. And I was kind of seeing what works and what didn't.
Yeah.
And then I just kind of rolled from there. But at that time, I wasn't committed 100% to it. But I knew that TikTok was going to be that platform that broke me out of obscurity. Because like my entire problem the past 5 years have been obscurity, where no one knew who I was.
Right.
And so TikTok broke me out of that. People know who I am now.
Right.
And so that's the most amazing thing ever, because I'm getting sponsorships, and I people want me on TV.
Yeah.
And people want to do
crazy,
collaborations with me. And it's so cool. I've never even thought that this would ever have happened.
Yeah, I know you told me the your inbox was like piled up.
Yeah.
Like crazy.
I'm at the point where I try my best to read all the comments and stuff.
Yeah.
But I just can't
keep up.
Do it at all, because it's just TikTok doesn't even allow you to, because there's a cap. So
really?
You can keep scrolling through your comments, right? And then it ends at a certain point.
Oh wow.
Right? And it's ridiculous. I hate that.
Yeah. I'm still new on TikTok, so Tom's over here, mentoring me.
Yeah.
So we'll have more expanding wallet content on there.
But I think it's a good idea to have that limitation, though, because I'd be scrolling all day reading all the comments.
So do you know, though, if that's the case, then if your inbox gets that full, if someone tries to send you a message, does it say, hey, his inbox is full, try again later? So
if it's someone that I don't follow back, right, it goes into sort of like a spam folder.
Okay.
But I click into that folder often, because there are people that I like to read and respond to.
Okay.
And those people only get 3 chances to send me something.
Okay.
And then they can't send anything else.
Okay.
Unless I accept their message, and then it goes into my main inbox, and then we can then have a conversation.
Okay, got you. Let me ask you, what are your plans going forward for Clueless Bushcraft?
I want to still stick with TikTok as a good platform to reach people, but I want to transition to YouTube and make more high quality content again.
Yeah.
Because I started off on YouTube. That's where I started. I was making content for 3-4 years without any expectation of making money. Like I wanted to, but like I couldn't. I needed to make good content to reach the point where I can make money. Right. But now I've been posting all of my TikTok videos on YouTube, right? And it's
shorts now.
Yeah, and they're vertical, and my entire channel looks ugly now because of that. But I want to go back and do the regular YouTube format again.
Yeah. I will say, though, I think like one of the benefits that I saw from you switching over to TikTok was that your video editing got better. I feel like in the beginning you weren't really video editing. You were just like fishing for like 2 hours, and that went on YouTube.
Yeah.
And then now, because you had to, or when you had to switch over and you had to go to 60 seconds,
Yeah.
you had to really like, okay, what is the most important thing? And now that you're switching back to YouTube, you can kind of take that, like, okay, I know what the audience wants. I'm gonna make these cuts here, and maybe it'll be a 10-minute, 20-minute video, whatever it is, but at least now you have that idea of what people are looking for, and you've already found your audience.
Yeah.
I mean, now you're just transferring over.
A good example, right, is all of my old YouTube videos. I would start off with, "What's up, YouTube? Clueless Bushcraft here."
Yeah.
Right? That was my intro. I'm never going to do an intro like that ever again. Right? People already know who I am.
Right.
Right? And so what I'm going to do now as the intro is the intro to what the video is. So like, for example, like this, right?
Yeah.
So like this, if I'm going to make like a scoop out of this, right? Or like a water scoop for this, I can say like, "Let's make a scoop today." Right? And that literally be like the intro, right? And then I can show them the scoop or something and edit it and stuff, you know, and then you start right into the video of me just like making holes and then breaking this off and then cleaning it out and then waxing it and making a scoop, right?
Oh, and this is a gourd for people who don't know.
Yeah, this is a bottle gourd.
Yeah.
And so basically, like, before I would be like, "What's up, YouTube? Clueless Bushcraft here. Today I'm going to be making this," right? Yeah. Those 3 seconds is the most crucial. So like if I'm doing that intro every single time, like people are just going to probably like skip out on the video. If I did that on TikTok, right? If I made that type of intro on TikTok every single video, people are going to swipe. Like I would swipe on myself, right? And so like, if I start off with an object or a thing that I'm doing, I display that. I'm like, "Hey, this is what I'm doing today."
Right.
That catches their attention. That's the hook, and then you start from there. So yeah, I've learned a lot. That 1 minute like constraint on TikTok improved my understanding of hooks.
Yes.
And then it made me understand what people wanted. A lot of videos on TikTok have multiple parts, right? It's like, "Oh, like and share for part, or like and follow for part 2, right? Part 3, part 4. I absolutely hate that. And so what I ended up doing was I made everything in that 1 minute.
Oh, wow.
So like, for example, my dried meat, right? So I would start off like, "Hey, let's preserve some meat, right? In hot sauce." And then I literally would have like the piece of meat, throw some hot sauce in, like let it marinate, give people directions, and then I'm like, let it sit for 3 days, and then I do now 3 days later, right? I take it out and then now put it on a rack and hang it up, right? And wait 3 weeks, right? And then 3 weeks go by and I start filming again, and then I'm like, okay, now let's cut into it, let's eat it, right? I do all of that, right? It takes like a month to do.
Wow.
But that's one video, right? And it's 1 minute.
Yeah, and so people see everything in that minute, and then
but it took a month long.
Yeah, and that's interesting. So and then that actually gets you more followers than the people probably doing the part 1, part 2, part 3.
Yes, and the thing is, people value that because like I'm adding value in my content, and I'm not wasting people's time. Right?
Yeah.
People are on TikTok to enjoy themselves and stuff, but I'm not wasting their time by telling them to go somewhere else to watch the content. Right? The content is all right there in that single minute.
Right.
And so now that I have the 3 minute ability, I'm still doing the same process where it's start to finish, where there's a beginning, middle, and end.
Yep.
I'm not doing part 2s, part 3s, even in the 3 minute. I do everything all in one go, and I'm not wasting people's time.
Yeah.
Right. And I value my audience time.
Yeah. And for those who don't know, some people on TikTok, I think I don't know what the criteria is, but some people have the ability to do 3 minutes. Is that still being beta tested, or is it full blown now?
I know that TikTok's been rolling it out slowly.
Yeah.
To many creators. Some creators that have like barely any followers got it. There are other features and stuff that I don't have yet. like scrolling through a video. And so they just kind of randomly roll it out to people.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. That's good to know. Let me ask you, what advice, and you already kind of gave some, but let's just say if you had like one piece of advice to give someone who was starting out on TikTok, what advice would you give them?
That's a good question. To post consistently is the biggest thing. You need to post enough to where it'll allow you to reach the For You page to where people would discover you. And then all your other videos that you have already posted, they can go into it and watch all of them too, right? And if you're adding value to your community or your niche, then I think like that's always going to be a win, right? Because if you're creating content and it causes some sort of conflict where like the audience needs to go somewhere else to consume more content, people don't like that. They want to see all of it in that platform for the most part, right? Until you start building a big enough, until you start building a big enough like community, right, where people would want to actively go search for other stuff like YouTube or Instagram and stuff like that. But like someone starting off, my suggestion is just to keep pushing more and more content and then seeing what works, right? And so like one of my good friends, he's on TikTok. His name is The Angry Onion, and he does 3D printing videos. And one of his videos reached 1 million like views.
Wow.
And I can see why, because his editing was great. Right? And like the topic was really good. You know, there was interaction with people in the comments. And TikTok loves that. TikTok values watch time and interaction. So if you can master those two, then you're going to have a viral video. Like eventually. Like it's almost calculated at this point that you can go viral on TikTok. But it's getting harder and harder to do that now. But like, this consistency is going to be the biggest thing.
So for Expanding Wallet now, I'm going to have to dive into Expanding Wallet. So I need to be putting content that's going to keep people just on the platform, right? Not directing them to my website is what you're saying?
Yes. Not until later. So like my suggestion right now for you is to provide so much value that people start loving you, right? And people start caring about what Expanding Wallet is, the purpose
and the mission,
and the mission and everything,
okay,
right? And I want it to be to the point where whenever anyone hears Expanding Wallet, they know exactly who you are and what you do.
Right.
Right. Right now, no one knows what you are.
Right. We just getting started.
Right. So
trying to get to that consistency, but I don't think I'll be at 140 videos in a month. But if I can do like half of that, maybe.
No, you're going to do it. 140 videos this month. So like my suggestion, right, is to put out so much value to the point where like people are coming to you for information. Right?
Exactly.
To your specific TikTok, not to your website, not to anywhere else. There's a bunch of other like content creators out there that are already doing what you're doing, right? You're competing against them, right? And so what you want to do is you want to create more equity on the platform, making more videos than them, right? Outworking them essentially, right?
And now that you mentioned that, is that something that happened? Is that what you think happened for you? I figured that there's not too many content creators in any space making 140 videos in a month. So that's a good tip.
I think that's so. Like, there's a lot of content creators that make bushcraft content on TikTok, right? And I follow a lot of them. But like, to be honest with you, like, I personally enjoy their videos, but I feel like a lot of other people don't. Because they're so boring, right? There's people who literally like shows an image of a thing that they just did, they're filming like this. They don't have their face in it. They're filming the object, and then it takes them 3 seconds to say something.
Oh wow, yeah, people swipe
right.
all the time.
And the moment they start talking, they're saying like hello, or they're saying something that is unnecessary, and then they start showing the object and stuff. There's so many people that do that.
Yeah, because I was gonna say, I mean, I think that it's definitely not just like putting out 100 videos, but the quality of those videos. Because I've seen people where they have a bunch of videos, but I just wasn't impressed by any of them that I saw. So, yeah, that's a good point.
And one thing that I want to mention too is the fact that shadow banning doesn't exist. People think it does.
Okay, wait. Explain
exist.
what shadow banning is for expanding wallet community people who don't know.
So shadow banning is the idea that the platform is not pushing your video out and not showing your video to anyone, and that you have low views, right? The algorithm works not for the creator.
Yeah.
It works for the consumer.
Right. That makes sense.
And so you need to understand that. And so you need to actually be responsible for your own views. And I'm responsible for my own views. If my video does bad, it's because of me. It's because that video sucked.
Right. So you're just taking ownership.
Yeah. Or it not really sucked, but it just didn't trigger the algorithm in the right way. Right. So like most of my videos that go viral, that hit 1 million like views, I know why it happens.
Right.
Right. And videos that have 100,000 views or just 15,000 views, right? I know why that is.
Yeah.
Right. And most of the time, it's because people aren't watching all the way through, right? Because they don't care about what I'm doing.
Right.
And then 2, it's no interaction. Right?
Yeah.
I didn't elicit a emotional thing where it caused them to type something out. Right?
Right.
And when they don't do that, that kills the algorithm. Right?
Oh, okay.
And so like if you start a video 3 seconds in and you haven't done anything, you know, then no, people are gonna swipe. They're not gonna watch the whole video.
Right.
And so like people who waste those 3 seconds at the beginning are losing because of that.
They're not going to get many views.
Yeah.
So I know you had mentioned something about, getting on the For You page, but don't all videos get on the For You page, or am I wrong about that?
No, all videos go on the For You page.
Okay, but you're saying to consistently, like for that video to keep showing up, it's got to be engaging. It's got to be something that people watch till the end.
Yes.
Okay.
You want like good watch time and then engagement.
Okay.
Right. So if you can figure out how to do that, right, then you're golden.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I think you got to try a bunch of different types of videos too, because obviously you've done it long enough to where you're like, hey, I know this is going to go viral. But someone just starting out, they might think it's the greatest video in the world they posted, and it's like, oh my gosh, it didn't do anything.
That's the thing too. As a content creator, you personally, right, may enjoy making a particular type of content, and you may put in so much work for a specific type of content, and you love it, right?
Yeah.
And then you post it, and it gets no views, right? So like a lot of the content that I like are the peaceful ones where like I'm walking in the woods. Like I literally can shoot myself, like watch myself walk in the woods and then like do camping stuff silently the entire time with some music or something, and cook a steak. And I love those type of videos, but those videos don't perform well on TikTok. Like other videos where I like show a piece of food or something and say like, let's eat this, right? And then when I eat it and stuff and I give my reaction and everything, those videos perform better. Yeah. And it would perform even better if I make it so that it loops. Yeah. Because all the videos on TikTok repeats itself, right, from beginning to end. And so if you can seamlessly like make the transition from start to end again, people will continue watching the video. Yeah, that's true. Let me think if there's anything else. Were we going to do like an activity? We were gonna cook or something, but it's so hot. I think we're gonna have to skip that. But so we were planning on just kind of doing like a little demonstration of an example of what Tom would do in his videos. I can start a fire. But I don't know. I think it's already hot enough.
So yeah,
like I can show you like what I would do to get a fire going.
Okay.
And put it out.
We can do that. So we'll take a clip of that and we'll show you guys that.
So this is called a feather stick. Okay, we're good. So this material here actually is a wick that has been soaked in flammable liquid or material or whatever. And so you just fluff this up and then you can strike a ferro rod on it and it lights up. Oops. And when you have something like this, the feather sticks, because it's small material, it'll catch fire. Like that.
Nice.
And like this. And this, you can just pretty much pull on it and it goes out. And then now you have a fire. And that's how you start a fire. Well, at least how I start a fire.
So Tom, I actually have something for you.
Mm-hmm.
I actually have a gift for you.
Oh, really? I wasn't expecting a gift.
For taking the time to got an Expanding Wallet t-shirt for you.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
really? Nice. Thank you.
We are, home for empowerment. So, yeah, I just wanted to give that
stuff
to you.
in the back too. Expanding Wallet, home for empowerment.
Yeah, I mean, we want
That's really cool.
Congratulate anyone that comes on our show and takes the time out of their day. But we represent transformation, and you definitely transform your life with the work that you put in.
Yeah, learn, believe, and
5
grow.
years, guys. 5 years. It was not easy. I know.
Yeah, it's not easy. So much work, and people don't really realize how much work and time and money and effort that I've put into it. Yeah, I've cut myself. I've bled. I've hurt myself.
Yeah. It's definitely a lot of work, and that's actually funny too, because I put together a Keys to Success guide, like 5 Keys to Success guide, and it's actually focused on the mindset for success and actions that you can take to develop that mindset. Because, like Tom, I've transformed my life in many areas, and so I wanted to break that down for people and give them something where you can take these actions that will help you develop that mindset for success and to keep going, right? 5 years. You really got to keep that purpose in front of you at all times. And so with that, I just want to say, remember to learn all that you can, believe in yourself, and take actions that allow you to grow. Thank you, guys. Wishing you all the best.